Back in 1967, the Labour government published an economic plan for Wales. Of course, it turned out to be worse than useless, simply because no elected body in Wales has control over the main forces that determine economic life and economic development here. Behind me is the steelworks in Tremorfa in Cardiff, in the Cardiff and Penarth constituency. It's been taken over yet again, this time by a Czech company. The previous owners were Spanish, and this is one of the major problems that we have in this constituency and in Wales, that so many of our businesses, particularly in our industrial sector, are owned and controlled from outside. And yet even that doesn't provide us with any stability when we see, for example, how Port Talbot Steelworks, Tata, have now held out the begging bowl and received £500 million worth of public money to modernise and to save jobs. Well, that's very worthwhile, but we haven't taken any share of public sector control over the management and over the key economic decisions in Port Talbot. We need economic development that comes primarily from inside Wales, that is the product of, yes, private investment directed to where it's needed, but also public investment, especially to rebuild the industrial base of our economy. That's why the Communist Party calls not only for an economic plan for Wales, but a plan that's based on massive public investment, massive public expenditure, and having a Welsh National Economic Development Authority to oversee proper planning of the Welsh economy, with much more emphasis on research and development. We receive about 1% of all state-funded research and development in Britain. Why isn't our Senedd, why isn't our Welsh Government protesting about the shocking way in which Wales is neglected, not only in terms of investment generally, but investment in the high-tech sectors, as well as in the very, very important strategic industries that we still have in Wales. But if we're going to have planned economic development, it's a fair question to ask, where will the powers and the resources come from? The previous Conservative government robbed Wales and our Senedd and our government of its powers under the old Industry Act to support industrial investment. They've been transferred back to Westminster. Where's the campaign? Where are the protests? Where are the speeches in the Senedd and elsewhere demanding that power to support key industries in Wales should be brought back to Wales and not exercised from England? It's a fair question to ask as well, where would the money come from for the kind of massive public investment that we need here in Wales? Well, the answer is where all state funds come from for investment purposes, or much of them anyway, and that's the Public Works Loans Board. Low interest rates available for state investment, including, as it should be, in industry. So we need those powers, we need those resources. Otherwise, Wales, the people of Wales, the workers of Wales, will always be at the mercy of capitalist market forces, instead of having the ability to plan our own economic development in the interests of our people.